The slide of life takes you in many directions, some joyful, some not so much. But in the end, all slides lead to the same destination. On your final night, you'll hear that melody one last time. The same melody you've heard all your life. One last time down memory lane. This is the description of Slide With You, the ROM hack that I consider to be Super Mario 64's most beautiful story. And today, I'd like to tell it to you. Slide With You was created by a romhacking.com user called YamakoEra for Simple Flip Slide Hack Competition. It's an incredibly unique and creative use of the Mario 64 engine used to tell a surprisingly emotional story of love and loss. Visually and thematically speaking, you would never guess that it was made for Mario 64. Slide With You tells the story of Blue, and of the many directions that the slide of life has taken her, with some being joyful and some not so much. And as YamakoEra puts it, all slides lead to the same destination, one last time down memory lane. So please, let's take one last trip down memory lane. Come slide with me. Act 1 begins with us alone in Blue's house. A generic pinstripe pattern lines the wall, clocks tick the time away, beads of rain fall endlessly outside, and Blue reflects on an otherwise bland life. I remember when we first met. At the time my life was empty and uninspired, bland and boring. This path could have continued. It could have gone on and on. However, the slide of life had a gift for her instead. But then I met you, and everything changed. You wanted to become a writer. The stories you told were always very imaginative, like an army of jellyfish fighting a giant dragon in the sky. Act 2 greets us with the ferocious maw of a shining dragon. Its shimmering body spirals through the air, creating a fierce centerpiece for Blue to navigate around. Giant paper lamps float nearby, illuminating the night. Tall red gates stretch out from an endless ocean below, and amidst it all, luminescent jellyfish orbit the dragon, blurring the line between sky and sea. Clearly a massive battle is unfolding right in front of Blue. But unfortunately, nothing lasts forever, and before she can even realize it, his imaginative story of the mighty dragon and the eternal jellyfish has come to an end. You seemed like you could make the impossible become real, as if the worlds you had created were much more than just a thin sheet of paper. Act 3 takes place within much more than just a painting. It's a land full of sunflowers and marble, a place where cars can freely travel between portraits, a world where fountains flow every color of the rainbow. It's not just a painting, it's a glimpse into his imagination. were a friend to all animals, even the gross and slimy ones. Even outside of your stories, animals seem to take a liking to you. You taught me many things, such as how to craft a castle out of paper, or what it means to have a true love. I had always hoped one day we could make our castle a reality. Blue soon finds herself standing in a warm beach, reminiscing about a great pink castle under a sunset sky. Soft magenta waves splash at her feet and palm trees sway in the breeze. Maybe one day their castle would cease to be paper and instead become stone. You took me to a ball once. You loved the bizarre and abstract, all the frilly dresses and carnival masks. I felt out of place, but you showed me a type of joy which I could not find myself. Act 4 is an ornate blur of face masks, sharp-dressed patrons, glittering gold and checkered tile. Here the men wear hats and the women wear dresses as they happily spin and twirl to the notes of an unseen piano. Around them, rich violet curtains hang below an elegant golden chandelier. Tonight the gala is in full swing, and Blue will dance with her love until the sun rises once more. Someday she may look back on this night as but a flash of joy in her distant memory, but for now, it's too soon to be a memory, because for now, it's forever. Act 5 welcomes us with a charming image of a large 3-layer cake, topped with green and blue figures standing side by side. Surrounded by colorful gifts from friends and family, it rests below the lovely glass mural of a butterfly. Our wedding day. Could I have asked for more? It was the happiest I had ever been. The many balloons, the giant cake. It was too much to eat, even for all of us. As Blue continues on, she recounts the joy she felt on that day, reliving it over and over in her mind as if it was just yesterday. The gifts, the atmosphere, his fateful words at the altar. It truly was the happiest she had ever been. She had come a long way from living an uninspired, bland, and boring life. What could possibly go wrong with him at her side? But our time together was short-lived. I remember that day clearly. I could never forget it. When colors became bleak and it never stopped raining. The day everything changed and would never be the same. It was all too sudden, a life cut short. Sadness, anger, rage, and pain. Was it something I did? Was it something I said? It was indescribable, unimaginable. Never had I ever thought I would be punished in this manner. If gods exist, I must have offended them. Why else would such a thing happen? Blue's life has become void, an endless grieving. All its color has been drained and replaced with despair. Apart from dead end and one-way signs in almost every turn, for the first time in years, she is completely alone on the slide of life. Amidst the cracked, broken asphalt and black emptiness, it's clear that she now walks a very dark road. I've begun to resent this path. What once used to be whimsy and excitement of what yet to come has turned into fear and anxiety around every corner. Around the next turn, does await me something horrible? A monster, perhaps? An illness or two? I don't want to know. I'm afraid to find out. Hanging above Blue are two stoplights, one green and one red, one path forward and one the end. Reluctantly, she presses onward, observing as the unchosen road dips down into the abyss. Ahead, she is confronted by more roads and more stoplights, more decisions on an already difficult descent, and before she can stop herself from falling even further, she is soon left with just one final path. A red sky, an endless pit, the horned face of a monster. Blue has fallen into the abyss, and it's accepted her with a sea of outstretched hands all pleading for help. This wasn't the life the altar promised her. I see death wherever I turn. I cannot stop thinking about it. I can't go on like this for much longer. Blue's life has become one of torment. Everywhere she looks, she is reminded of what she lost. No longer would she be read fantastic stories of dragons and jellyfish, nor would she twirl at fancy galas with frilly dresses and carnival masks on. No longer would she build paper kingdoms with her true love, because before her very eyes, their castle of stone had crumbled, and in its wake, it left nothing but pain. In the darkness, I found a moment of clarity. I don't think you would have wanted me to live in this manner. I had to move on, no matter how hard it may have been. You are gone. I have to accept that. But there was something you had left behind. Those wonderful stories that brought me so much joy could be told to others. Maybe a part of you lives on after all. Throughout her time on the slide of life, the clock has continued to tick for blue. The film reels of her mind have begun to wear and all their color has faded. The passage of time truly spares no mercy, not even for those who have already suffered. I don't remember much past this point. I started getting old and weary. My memory isn't what it used to be. Holes and tears in the road. What was I talking about again? Wasn't I just here? Even when you've grown tired and elderly, the slide of life pushes you forward, no matter how much you may desperately want to go back. The pathways it gives you start to blur, and every direction begins to look the same. Up becomes down, left becomes right, and the future becomes the past. Is it exhaustion? Is it fatigue? Lately I no longer fear death's grasp, a gentle embrace leading me to sleep, like an old friend coming to greet me and wash all my pain away. At the center of Blue's mind is a tall, imposing clock tower, symbolic for the ever-passing nature of time. And with nowhere else to go, she climbs it higher and higher, eventually reaching the clouds above, and hopefully the end of her pain. Now before her stands just a singular door, one final direction from the ever-so-present slide of life. Sometimes I think I can see you in the moonlit sky. Even in heaven you shine brightly. Will you illuminate my way? Show me where to go? I feel so lost without you. Heaven, eternal sunshine, butterflies and sunset as far as the eye can see. Maybe the slide of life wasn't so bad after all, because in heaven there is no pain. There is no loss, no monsters, no broken castles, just joy. If I could, there is much I would do different, but the time with you I would never change. This song will finally end, my melody of life and death. I am ready now. I will find you again. Embrace me now, my dear. This same song and dance has lasted a lifetime. The melody of my joy, the melody of my pain. A song which plays in my head when I attempt to sleep. I can't help but recall our time together. The slide of life takes us all in many directions, some joyful and some not so much. But in the end, all of our slides lead to the same destination. On your final night, you'll hear that melody one last time, the same melody you've heard all your life, one last time down memory lane, for all of us. Blue's story is not unique. Unfortunately, it's one that could happen to anybody. It's one that cannot be predicted, cannot be prepared for, and most importantly, cannot be avoided. But that doesn't mean that the future should be dreaded. As we've seen with Blue's story, life can be full of wonder and joy. Magnificent fountains of color can flow just about anywhere you look. Stories of giant dragons and jellyfish can be told from your very own living room. Happiness can be found in even the darkest of corners, but only for those who choose to seek it. It's true that you may have no control of what life gives you, but you do have control of what you do with it. We saw this firsthand after his death, where even at her lowest, Blue was still able to find a lighthouse of clarity in an ocean of turmoil. And in the end, because of her, a part of him lived on after all. Slide With You is a short and bittersweet ROM hack. Its uniquely emotional story makes it quite easy to forget its humble origins as a Mario game, and the way that it's presented to the player is nothing short of beautiful. Never have I felt so touched playing a mod of a game, let alone one of Mario 64. Everything from the striking handmade visuals like the blue and green hands forming a heart in Act 4, or the rainbow skeleton at the end of Act 7, to the personal themes of love, loss, and acceptance is all just so wonderful in a way that I have difficulty articulating. Playing through this hack, even after beating it multiple times over for this video, I can't help but connect its story to my own. It brings me to think of my own slide of life, my own bouts of light and darkness, my own paper castles, my own relatives with dementia and their fading film reels of memory. Maybe it's melodramatic to say, but I feel a special kinship with this hack, and I feel incredibly fortunate to have found it. Slide With You is so much more than just a ROM hack. It's a story, an experience that I am very grateful to have had, and one that I am more than happy to share with whoever is willing to listen. YamakoEra, if you're watching this, thank you. It's clear that because of you, the slide of life has presented me with a gift, the gift of joy, and I can only hope that that's the case for everybody else watching. Thank you all for your time, and may the slide of life soon present you with gifts of your very own.